What's going on, everybody? So I'm playing this really overpowered Lavahound deck. I think it's very easy to play and pick up. I've only played it for a couple games and I've already got the hang of it like that. So basically what I like to do is just kind of be passive at the beginning, usually split something in the back. But since this guy is not doing anything, I'm just going to go for the Lavahound first play since I do have decent enough defense. I've got Inferno Dragon if he wants to like play a giant at the bridge or a tank of any kind. And I could have just gone Skelly Drags to clean up anything else he wanted to do. So he's going to go be playing, it looks like it's going to be Graveyard. I don't know why, because this guy usually plays Splash Yard, or not Splash Yard, P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam if I'm not mistaken, but he's going to go for the Knight. Really bad Knight right there. Look how much value this iDrag's about to get. I can just go for the Balloon other lane, and I'm going to go Skelly Drags on 0 because he needs to NATO this to the King Tower if he doesn't want to take more than one hit. So this pressure should be good here. He is going to go for a NATO, but the Balloon's going to go back to the tower and get the drop. Oh, that was so clutch. Look at that Inferno Dragon over there on the left as well. The reason why I think this deck is so good, and it's also very free-to-play friendly, it only has like 2 legendaries and the rest are basically commons and rares, is it's just super easy to defend massive pushes. The only deck you really struggle against is like Hog Cycle because you don't have great response for the Hog, you don't have a building or tornado or anything like that, but that doesn't even really matter when you can just kind of overwhelm with all the Lavahound units and just like the quick cycle of the Lavaloon pressure. Also having arrows and fireball is very good in this meta just because there's a lot of swarm and stuff that's going to give you a ton of value with your spells, and if you face like a Mother Witch or Firecracker you can take both of those out pretty easily. Honestly right here I could just go for the fireball on top of this if he wants to play anything else. Yeah, I'm just going to fireball that Ice Wiz and the Baby Drag and the Knight. Really good value. Inferno Drag should clean up that Baby Dragon as well, and all we need is basically like a little bit of damage on this right lane, then we can just go for the spell to finish it off. So he's just going to go for the Tombstone. I'm going to go ahead and split Skelly Drags in the back. Don't need to do anything too drastic here. I'll just go ahead and cycle Knight, try and play a little bit defensive so that I don't get overwhelmed by his graveyard push whenever he does decide to go for it. I'm just going to go for the Lavahound at the bridge to tank for both his support units, and then I can go for the iDrag on top of his Evo Knight. He's going to get some good damage here, but that's fine. I can just go be a little bit patient here, take some damage, and then go for my Skelly Drags. The reason I'd rather go Skelly Drags right here than the arrows is just because I want to get some kind of counter push potential here, or at least force out more elixir from him so he can't just sit here and stack to build up another push. So he's just going to give up that tower, it looks like, and try and go in for another graveyard, which is completely fine with me. I've got the archers down. I can go Evo Knight to kite this Baby Drag all the way back to the other side of the tower. Look how far that's going to go. Balloon takes his tower, and that's going to be GG's. You guys can see this deck very straightforward to play. You don't have to make any crazy outplays to end up winning against good players, and all you really have to do is just make sure you're playing solid defense and not overcommitting on offense too early on, and just make sure you always have something in cycle for whatever their win condition is. Oh, we got a Mega Lightning chest. What? That's freaking cool. I've never even got one of those before. I don't even know how rare it is to get the Mega Lightning chest or whatever that even was. I've never seen one of those before though, like in my chest slot. I think you get one every freaking billion chests or some garbage like that. There's a way to check actually what chests you have coming up. Not that it really matters that much, but it's just kind of fun. Back in like the beginning of this game, I used to save up the chests, like all the cool ones, till I got 4 in my slots, just to look, flex on my friends, like, oh, look at all these chests I'm about to open, and then I'd have like a mini chest opening. But yeah, I don't know, just something random I used to do. Because when back then like cards actually mattered a ton, nobody was maxed out, and you could just kind of like every single chest would get you hype, like you actually want to see what you get in it. Now you just kind of spam through the chest because it doesn't really matter what you get, since everything's basically already either maxed and turns into elite wild cards, or it just like doesn't even matter because you already have your deck maxed out. So I'm just going to go for the iDrag in the back here. It looks like he's playing Graveyard. This guy usually does play Graveyard, which is fine with me. This time I've got Inferno Dragon for his Giant though, and I've also got Fireball for the Zappies if he does try and do that. So I can just go ahead and Lava in front of this Inferno Drag. He does have Hunter, which is not what you want to see when you're playing Lavahound, especially this version. Hunter's probably one of the better cards against this specific deck, but that should get taken out right there. Yeah, really nice. Inferno Drag's going to clean up that Skelly King as well. I can just go for the Skeleton Dragons, force out some more elixir, then go for the Balloon in this left side here once he plays something. I'm expecting him to play something. He's gonna go Barbs. What in the world? Okay, I'll just fireball those off the board. That was kind of the weirdest placement I've ever seen. I think he was trying to tank, but he didn't get him down in time. I know he definitely had enough elixir, but that's fine with me. We get a ton of damage from those Skelly Drags, taking his tower to almost half already. I can just go ahead and drop a knight in the back. I don't really need that too much for defense. He does have Sparky as well, which is interesting. I can just go ahead and drop my Inferno Drag over here. As you guys can see, this deck is very good on defense. Like, you have pretty much a response for everything, and I'm just going to continue to go Lava Hound in front of this Inferno Dragon. The reason I'm doing that is pretty obvious. You just want to tank for it so he can't reset it with the Zappies. And that's going to get a lot of value on that left side there. Taking out his Zappies, hopefully. Then I can just go ahead and let those barbs die. Really bad barbs by him. I can go for the Evo Knight on top of this Giant. Inferno Dragon again. He's going to go Graveyard, but I think it's a little bit too late. He can't really spend arrows either on offense, because if he does, he would have just lost his entire tower on the left right there. So now we have a pretty big counter push. I can even go Lava Hound in front of this iDrag, I think. Yeah, this is game. There's no way he defends this. If he does, I will be genuinely shocked. I'm just going to Fireball immediately on top of those Zappies. That was pretty good Barbarians, actually. I'm going to have to go Skelly Drags on 0 just to DPS these down, and that should be fine. Lava Hound is going to get wrecked by the Hunter, but I still think we can break through. I'm going to go Balloon. Hopefully his Hunter is able to be arrowed. I'm going to go for the arrows, hopefully take that out. No, it's going to be 1 HP, unfortunately, but it should still get death damage at least, which is still good. He did defend, so I got to give him some credit for that, but that's not going to save him. Skelly Drags on tower, just like that. He's already in Fireball range, right? Yep, 274. That's going to be game. Giant Graveyard. We just absolutely destroyed that. Don't even really have a great response to the Graveyard itself, but it doesn't even matter. That's just too easy. Plus 31, and we get a Legendary chest back to back. Wait, what is happening with my luck right now? Am I, like, actually the luckiest person in the world? As you guys can see, back to back freaking 2 of the rarest chests in the entire game. I don't know, just a weird occurrence. That doesn't really happen ever, but wow. I honestly don't have any idea how lucky that is. Like, I think that's probably a 1 in 20, 30,000 chance to even get that, to be honest. But, I mean, you just witnessed it live on camera, back-to-back, the most rarest chests in the game. That's pretty cool. Gonna go for the archers on these goblins. Looks like he's playing some kind of cycle deck, which is fine with me. I could just Lava Hound into this left lane now that I have these archers down, but he's just gonna go for the delivery. I think I'm just gonna ignore that delivery. Reason being is I don't want to drop an entire knight on that if it's my only ground troop in cycle at the moment. It's a pretty risky play. I'm just gonna go for the knight. He is gonna go miner in the back, so it looks like he's probably playing miner control, if I had to guess, with either rockets or poison. I'm just gonna lava up now that he has his win condition out of cycle. He's gonna go for the knight in the back, which is fine with me. And how do I want to play this? It depends on what his building is, first of all, and then second of all, what spell. Okay, so he has Tesla, which is better for me than if he had Inferno. Then I probably would have a really hard time breaking through. I'm just going to go Balloon immediately on this left side, then go for the Skelly Drags to clean up this right side. He does have Poison too. Okay, so I think I can be... I think I can break through if I play this correctly. He's going to delivery, obviously, but Balloon still gets a shot. It does. Nice. Also, Skeleton Dragons on the right lane are going to put in a lot of work. They really are an underrated card at the moment, in my opinion. Because if your opponent doesn't have a spell to take them out immediately, they do get a ton of value on defense. And then they also will do some solid damage, like 1,300 off his tower from just those. Like, he's got to defend that next time. He can't just let that go. So I'm just going to Inferno Drag the back. He goes for his Knight. So next time he's going to have the Evolution. I'm going to go for my Knight as well here. And we're in double elixir. I think I just want to build up split lane pressure is the way to play this matchup. I'm just going to go Lava Hound in the right lane, though, since I am pretty comfortable at the moment, like, with my troops on the board. He's not really going to get a free miner or anything on my tower. I can just go ahead and go for the Balloon in the left lane, go ahead and archers. If he goes for a second Tesla, I can fireball both of them, which is probably what he's going to do. Yes, I can fireball that right away. Should take all that out, and then Balloon is... Wow, how did that not kill the Tesla? It doesn't really matter, though, because I can just drag the bridge. He doesn't have anything to take out this Inferno Dragon right away. And then I can just go for my Evo Knight in front of this. Go ahead and just Skelly Drags on top of this left side, and he's having a hard time defending this. He doesn't have enough air defense to actually kill all my troops. He just used delivery as well, so I can go Balloon on the left, and he's gonna lose. Like, there's no way he wins this. That's gonna be GG's. I think this is a really, really easy matchup since he doesn't have an Inferno Tower, but I'm not too sure. Inferno Dragon is gonna go ahead and 3-crown him just to add insult to injury there. Really, really, really good game. Miner control just stands absolutely no chance against this Lava Hound deck specifically, especially if he doesn't have Inferno Tower or Rocket. Like, yeah, man, I feel kind of bad for this guy. I recorded this game live, and for some reason, the saving, like, it just didn't save correctly. So I'm going to show you guys this replay. This was a very, very good game, and a very interesting game, to say the least. So I'm going to speed it up at the beginning because it kind of starts off pretty slow, pretty, I don't know, not average, but like pretty generic. So I just go ahead and split Skelly Drags in the back. I'm not sure what he's playing at this point. I was thinking maybe like RG or something, but he goes for the recruits, and automatically I'm like, okay, he just uses arrows. I can go ahead and just split my archers. I don't have anything great to take out the recruits, but I can just go Lava Hound in front of this Inferno Dragon, and look at his hand right here. He's going to have a very hard time at taking that out, so he fireballs that early, which is a pretty interesting play. This, I could have won the game right here if I played this a little bit better, but I didn't know he had arrows at the time, so I did go Skelly Drags and just give him a ton of arrow value. If I just saved up and went Balloon, I probably would have taken his entire tower, but, you know, you can't always guess, not guess, but, like, get everything correctly. You got to make mistakes at some point. I go for the Skelly Drags on top of his balloon. He fireballs that immediately, but then I just fireball his balloon back. I'm just going to play it in normal speed now that we are into double elixir, and it's kind of pretty close. So I am actually down damage to start off this game, even though I feel like I've had the better start to this point. But recruits just really just do that to you, I guess. I go ahead and start stacking an I-Drag into the lane that I want him to push into. I'd rather go same lane with him than go opposite, just because I feel like it's harder to defend if I go opposite lane. So he goes for the recruits, which is very interesting right there. He goes ahead and fireballs this too. No, he doesn't. He goes Mother Witch. I thought he fireballed that. I fireball his Mother Witch right away. Then I drag on the left to help clean up those recruits. Fine, taking a lot of damage on that left side since we've obviously got way more HP right there. And then I just go for the Lava Hound, I believe, in front of this Inferno Dragon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I do. He goes for his I-Drag as well. But this time I'm like, okay, so he's got the fireball in hand. I'm just going to go ahead and go for my balloon in the opposite lane. He doesn't have much. All he can really do is fireball, and then I just kind of spam the right side. He uses his arrows on the left, obviously, to clean up the pups. Then I fireball this Mother Witch, and we get some good damage over here on the right. Kind of even out this game and even put myself in the lead, getting his tower down to below 1,000, but he does have Evo recruits. This is where I was like, oh, crap. I could definitely lose the game if I do not defend this perfectly. So I guess you guys will see what happens. I go ahead and just set up the knight early on the left side, and then I go for the I-Drag up high, thinking he might go balloon. And he doesn't, so I Skelly Drags clean all that up. He does go balloon in the opposite lane. I just go for the fireball, and then I go for the arrows to take all that out, and then I just go for the archers immediately. I think he arrows on offense, if I'm not mistaken. No, he doesn't. He just lets that go, and then at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm in a pretty good situation. Really aggressive Valkyrie for basically no reason. Also, really bad fisherman by this guy. Kind of where he sold the game, in my opinion, was that play. So I just go Skelly Drags and then I balloon immediately, knowing he's going to want to fireball that. And as soon as he fireballs that, I know he's not going to have enough elixir to defend my balloon. I can just fireball his Inferno Dragon off my balloon, and that's going to get it a connection and win me the game. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, y'all. We'll see y'all in the next one, and peace.